Wow, I can't believe it. This is the beginning of the last week of our tour.
Week 6.
And it's been just getting better and better. Even the weather's getting better. Not too hot, perfect weather right now. We left Natchez after 4 nights, and I gotta say that park, Riverview, that we stayed in, everybody should go there. It's so restful and peaceful and beautiful, watching the barges go up and down the Mississippi River, and pleasant community. I guess a lot of folks retire in Natchez.
Yeah.
It's a hot area to retire in. And your money goes a lot farther.
But as week 6 starts, we are on our way to New Orleans, and the jam-packed final few days of this tour. It's hard to believe that this 34-day tour is about to come to an end in just a couple of days. But what a couple of days it's going to be. We will be doing a seaplane ride to see where the Mississippi dumps into the Gulf. We will be doing a swamp boat tour. We'll be touring Bourbon Street, the French Quarter. We'll be doing a riverboat cruise, and we're staying at a top-notch RV resort and marina right near New Orleans. So we're excited about that, but we're starting to feel a little nostalgic that this tour is coming to an end. We formed so many great friendships on this fantasy RV tour.
And you will not believe it, how when you spend every day for a month with the same people and you're sharing adventures together and campfires, what a friendship that forms. And that you really are kind of sad to say goodbye. But there's new adventures awaiting.
Yep, new adventures. Here we go. You can't walk far in New Orleans without the sound of music. Some of it really good. Some of it not so good, but all of it happy, right?
It's all been good that I've heard so far.
Well, how about if I do some singing?
Well, now that's another story.
Oh, you'll like it. Here I go.
Here we go. Oh, jump like up in my feeling go. When tonight I'm gonna see my share of meal. You may walk, you may talk every day, oh. Son of a gun, gotta have me fun on the bayou.
Nice outfit.
Served up right here and then back to the world. Marina Rose comes from voodoo. Marina Rose, my last mission in America. So I sold.
And here is the Mississippi in New Orleans, another big city that is built up around this magnificent river that we've been following for 2,300 miles now. This is not the end of the Mississippi. To see that, we've got to go a little bit further south.
From New Orleans, the Mississippi has nearly 100 miles to go before it disappears into the Gulf. About 30 miles southwest of the city, we come to a vast rural area where the main crop satisfies the world's sweet tooth, sugar cane. Welcome to plantation country.
This plantation is called Oak Alley. Why do they call it that? Because of this. These centuries-old live oak that line the way down towards the big house.
look at the size of this live oak. Some of them are over 300 years old on this plantation. Come closer and let me show you something. This looks like it's dead. It's a fern, but it's called the resurrection fern. And it's like this when it's dry, but as soon as it rains, give it about an hour after rain, comes alive. It's green, it's so vibrant, and it is absolutely beautiful. But it's pretty intriguing that most of the time it's like this, but the humidity and the rain brings it to life. Hey, we're in luck. It didn't rain, but it looks like the sprinklers have been working great on watering the grass, so we've got the resurrection fern that we can see. When it gets water, it looks like this, and when it doesn't have water, it looks like that. Awesome.
We're getting close now since we began this tour in northern Minnesota. And here between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, the river flows mightily. In fact, I'm standing on a levee right now, and you can see it's concrete to keep those waves from washing over. We'll talk about this part of the land in a second, but the river's changed in one very dramatic way. Instead of a 9-foot channel, which it's had since Minneapolis really, here the river is 40 feet deep. Why is that? Well, it's to accommodate that. These are ocean-going vessels, and they need that 40-foot draft to be able to take this into the Gulf and to parts all over the world. Here, floods over thousands of years from this river have produced a soil rich for one particular crop, and that is sugar cane. There are miles and miles of sugar canes, thousands and thousands of acres, over 600 sugar plantations in this stretch alone. And it's interesting, most of them are triangularly shaped. The narrow end is right here in the river, so they have a place where they can easily get their crop onto these boats and send them to markets around the world. And then the other end, the wider end, goes to 10, 12,000 acres and widens out. This is a plantation behind me. But like cotton, the early history of this was all built upon the backs of enslaved people. They created these plantations. They hacked down the trees and planted the fields of cane. And that cane produced molasses and rum and untold suffering for the thousands of slaves who were brought here. In fact, the conditions working in the sugarcane fields were so bad that northern slave owners, to keep their enslaved people in line, also often threatened to send them and sell them down to a sugarcane plantation. That's how bad working in those fields really was. Further south, the lush greenery of the plantations gives way to swamp country. Millions of acres of bayous and canals carved through land flooded by the Mississippi. We boarded a boat to explore these swamps, gliding past towering cypress trees draped in Spanish moss. The air hung heavy and still. Water stretched endlessly in every direction, dark and mysterious, while the ancient trees stood like sentinels, guarding secrets older than memory itself.
You know, we kept wondering why the alligators were coming to the boat. And then we realized that the captain was feeding them white marshmallows. And alligators only see white and black, so white marshmallows they see. But I've noticed they're not eating any more marshmallows. Maybe they're hoping one of us will go swimming.
Either that, or all of these different boats have fed him marshmallows. And
He's got a
just
boo-boo
being
belly.
polite.
He's got a boo-boo belly. It was time to move on, to find the end of the great river we had been following for so long, but the end wasn't drivable, and it was too vast for an easy boat trip. The best way to see it was from above, in a seaplane. The swamps stretched for miles below us, the river clearly visible until, gradually, it wasn't. The river just disappeared into the Gulf. What began as a trickle among rocks in Minnesota now dissolved into the infinite waters of the sea, the mighty Mississippi. After its 2,300-mile journey, simply emptied itself into the embrace of the ocean.
It was ironic, really. 34 days before, we could walk across a couple of rocks at the inauspicious start of the river in northern Minnesota. But that tiny stream soon became a half-mile wide, then a mile wide, traveling through 10 states for more than 2,300 miles. Its end at the Gulf was as undramatic as its start in Minnesota. But what a trip this has been. An epic journey shared by friends who started as strangers. Thanks to Fantasy RV for a great tour. We're Mike and Jennifer. Thanks for watching.
Happy trails!